Hello, I'm Josh George. I'm going to do an ACC preseason breakdown. I'm going to go bottom to top. I'm going to start with the Coastal Division. I have Georgia Tech finishing 7th in the Coastal Division. I have them 3-9 overall and 1-7 in conference play. Jeff Collins will be abandoning the triple option and the wing barn offense. He will be doing things different. Players will have to learn a totally new offense. Not a lot of veterans. He only has 3 starters returning from last season's offense, and he will be playing 3 true freshmen on defense. Now, for these reasons, I have them at 3-9 overall, 1-7 in their conference, in conference play. Now, 6th in the Coastal Division, North Carolina. North Carolina is a team that has only won 5 games in the past 2 seasons. That's why they brought in former head coach Mac Brown, and he has a 69-46 record at North Carolina. I think he's a good coach. I think he's going to start turning this program around, but he's got an uphill battle working with a bunch of unknowns, I feel like. For that reason, I have North Carolina 5-7 overall and 3-5 in conference play. Now, 6th in the division, I have Pittsburg. I think that they have 2 good quarterbacks, and Pat Narduzzi is going to put together a good defense. 6 starters returned last year. I feel like this team will be locked and loaded, ready to go, and have a good chance to make a bowl game. Now, the question is, who will the quarterback be? Will it be Pickett or Beverly? I honestly think that they can win with either one. I don't think it matters who's at quarterback. I have them going 6-6 overall, 4-4 in division play. Now, 4th in the conference, I have Virginia Tech. I think they're the most overrated team in the ACC. The reason for that is Bud Foster had his worst defense he's ever had as a defensive coordinator at Virginia Tech, as far as total defense is concerned, and he's been there since 1995. Virginia Tech also had their first losing season since 1992. So I just feel like this team is really overrated in a lot of categories. A lot of people picking them 2nd in the division. I have them 4th, and I have them at 6-6 overall and 4-4 in conference play. Now, 3rd in the conference, I have the Virginia Cavaliers. That is because Bryce Perkins is one of the fastest quarterbacks in the ACC. I think he's the most mobile quarterback in the ACC and the best quarterback in the Coastal Division. I know Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback in the ACC, but we're talking about Virginia. Back to them. Because of him, I have Virginia 8-4 overall, 5-3 in the ACC, and of course 3rd in the division. Now, I have Duke 2nd, and the reason for that is David Cutcliffe, great coach, quarterback whisperer, finds a way to win. Now he has a tough schedule this season. He has to play, but he gets Syracuse and Miami at home. But his trade-off is in the non-conference, he has to play Alabama and Notre Dame, 2 teams that were in the playoffs last season. For these reasons, I have him at 6-6, but 5-3 in conference play and 2nd in the division. Winning the division, you now know I have the Miami Hurricanes under first-year head coach Manny Diaz. I think he's done really well with this defense. He brought the turnover chain to Miami, found new ways to motivate, but they had a stretch last season where they lost 4 games in a row in the middle of the season, and they were just strange losses. So I haven't fully bought into this team. I have them 9-3 overall, 6-2 in conference play, but taking a trip to the conference title game. Now to the Atlantic Division. We're going to go bottom to top again. 7th, I have Louisville. Louisville has a new coach, Scott Satterfield. He's 51-24. That's a good record, but he's got not a lot to work with at Louisville, to be perfectly honest. But they have a cool quarterback name there, Puma Pass. I think Louisville's going to wind up 4-8 and 2-6 overall. Then finishing 6th in the division, I have Wake Forest. I have them 6-6 and 3-5. I like when I'm doing these videos, I'm trying to find something cool to say. I think I found something to say. Eason Besley, he talked about being recruited. He came in to turn the program around. They were 3-9 when he signed, and he wants to get to bowl games, and I think they can do that. Like I say, I have them 6-6 and 3-5 in conference play. Then, fifth, I have NC State. They have had two back-to-back 9-win seasons in 2017 and 2018. But with the departure of Ryan Finley, I expect some offensive drop-off. That is why I have NC State 6-6 and 3-5. Then to Florida State. I think Willie Taggart has to work on his offense, and in particular his offensive line. I also think he's had some struggle on defensive line. And he's had some pretty good quarterbacks. I just don't know. They're just not blocking it up well in the run game, and they can't pass block hardly at all. That's why they have the most give up the most sacks in the ACC. They did it last season. That's why I have them at 6-6 and 3-5 and fourth in the Atlantic Division. Now, third, I have Boston College. They have the best tandem, quarterback-running back tandem in the ACC. Certainly in the top two, if not the best. But Brown and Dillon, good quarterback, good running back, but they only have 9 total starters coming back. That's both sides of the ball combined. For those reasons, I have Boston College 6-6 and 3-5 in conference play. Then in second, I have Syracuse. Syracuse had the biggest turnaround in the ACC last year. They were 4-8 in 2017 and wound up 10-3 last season. Huge turnaround, and they've always found a way to win a big game, it seems like. 2 years ago, they beat Clemson, and they're always really competitive with some of the better teams in the conference. And I just have a funny feeling about this team this year, finishing second in the division, in the Atlantic Division. I have them 9-3 and overall 5-3 in the conference. Then, of course, winning the division, I have the Clemson Tigers. I went ahead and put them at 11-1. I feel like they will have one loss. I went on ahead and scheduled it when they go to Syracuse this year. That's the one loss I have. But they're the best team in the conference, almost head and shoulders above everyone. And they'll win their non-conference games. They play A&M at home in their Death Valley. South Carolina could be a challenging game, but Wofford and Charlotte will give them no challenges whatsoever. 11-1. I could talk all day about their great coordinator in Brett Venables, great head coach Dabo Swinney, and we all know about Trevor Lawrence. He's got a bunch of Heisman potential. I know I'd love to talk about them, but that's why I have them over Miami in the conference title, finishing it at 12-1, and that will make Miami's record 9-4. I am Josh George. This was your ACC Breakdown.